Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Coming up this week, we take a look at ChatGPT's new Tasks feature, what some unreleased code could tell us about the future of Google Gemini, some new data points on AI tool retention rates, plus the usual mix of practical tools you can use at work. As always, if you enjoy the briefing, hit the subscribe and the like button. So first up, ChatGPT is testing a new feature called Tasks, and this allows users to set up regular reminders, alerts, and other notifications, which could be used for things like asking for a daily news update or reminders about upcoming events. Now, at the moment, this feature is only available for paid users, and it's pretty limited in its scope, but it does give us a taste of what OpenAI's future agentic offerings could look like. In other AI startup news this week, a company called Synthesia has raised $180 million for its B2B AI video platform. Now, if you've never heard of Synthesia before, it's a generative AI product that creates avatars that are designed to be used in a business context. So this can be used for things like training or employee onboarding or even sales presentations. And one of the investors involved in this funding said one of the reasons they invested was that it has an extreme customer focus. They're obsessed with driving value in a practical setting. Putting that together in a platform that's safe and compliant is super hard to do. So this is proof ultimately that smart product strategy and customer segmentation still wins the day every time, even in the AI age. Meanwhile, some unreleased code from Google suggests that Gemini could soon be added to a new product: YouTube videos. So YouTube videos could soon get the ability for users to chat with videos and ask specific questions about the video that they're watching. So if you wanted to, you could ask questions about this video. Now, clearly this would be very valuable for longer form videos, which cover a wide variety of topics or complex topics. But this marks the latest stage in Google adding Gemini across its entire product range. And also this week, Google actually announced that it's following in the footsteps of Microsoft by increasing its prices across workspace plans. So AI is clearly having an impact here on product strategy decisions. And if you're interested in how AI is impacting product strategy, you may be interested in some of the articles I've published over on Substack this week. The first is about the impact of AI on product strategy. So if you remember, a few weeks back, Spotify announced that they were ditching some of their APIs because they feared that they could be used by third parties to train AI models. So in this piece, I explore what impact AI is having on product strategy and also take a look at some new APIs that could be useful for product development. And the second piece is all about AI agents. So if you believe the hype, then 2025 is going to be the year of the AI agent. And so for the purposes of this knowledge series, I assume that the hype is real. And we talk through in simple terms some of the key technical things you need to know about how AI agents work, including examples from companies like OpenTable, Uber, eBay, and more. So if you're interested in learning more about AI and its impact on product development, then head over to the Substack for that. Other AI features announced this week include a new feature from Hinge. So they are rolling out a new feature which is called prompt feedback. And this aims to improve users' dating profiles by analyzing how users answer questions to specific prompts. So what prompt feedback does is it evaluates each response and then offers personalized advice tailored to help you to share interesting details about yourself, which can then lead to engaging conversations. So in this sense, AI is being used here to help users get more value out of Hinge by extracting interesting information from users in an attempt that they will ultimately get more value from the product by finding someone to date. In other news that's not related to AI, Amazon is launching a new product that will allow e-commerce businesses to show ads in their search results. So in 2024, Amazon's ad business grew significantly and it now generates over $50 billion a year. This product, called Amazon Retail Ad Service, will allow retailers who are off Amazon to monetize their search results by showing contextually relevant third-party products, which will appear in their search results. So given how successful Amazon has been in monetizing its own search results, this could be a powerful new revenue stream for e-commerce businesses. But the details of the revenue split and the privacy implications of giving Amazon your user data have yet to be made public. Now, we know that Amazon has been known in the past for using data to identify popular new products and has then gone on to launch its own version of that product, which potentially undercuts independent retailers. So while this may sound like an interesting new monetization opportunity, many e-commerce companies will likely treat this with a degree of caution, but nevertheless, you still have to take your hats off here to Amazon for building something that is pretty complicated to get off the ground and productizing it into a service in this way. Okay, so moving on, if you're looking for some reading inspiration at the start of this year, then here's a selection of books that are currently read by some tech chiefs. Now, this first appeared in the Wall Street Journal and includes CIOs, CTOs, and CPOs from companies like Goldman Sachs, Yum, and others. And so the book list includes books like A Brief History of Intelligence, which focuses on the brain evolution and its implication for the future, and The Coming Wave by Mustafa Suleyman, which discusses AI and synthetic biology's transformative effects and highlights the needs for ethical tech-savvy teams. So if you're looking to stimulate your brain this year and get up to speed with what other tech chiefs are reading, then that reading list could be of interest to you. Now let's take a look at some tools you can use. And first up is a company called TheyDo. Now this is a company that is based in the Netherlands, and they recently raised $34 million to solve what they call the biggest problem of the century, which is, in their view, scaling customer journeys. So this is a really interesting angle for assessing customer happiness. So TheyDo's core value proposition is to provide a comprehensive journey management platform that helps businesses map customer insights and opportunity areas all in one place. So unlike traditional journey mapping tools, TheyDo allows users to create workflows that integrate data from third parties, which ultimately allows you to track things like Net Promoter Score and CSAT, customer satisfaction scores. So journeys are at the heart of this product. And anyone who's worked in UX or in crafting products knows that the first step to solving any problem is often by mapping out the journey. So this takes that product-centric approach and then creates a SaaS customer service platform off the back of it. So if you're looking to transform the way you handle customer satisfaction this year, then TheyDo could be something worth checking out. Next is Boardy. Now, Boardy is a pretty strange proposition, but it piqued my interest. Now, recently they've just raised $8 million for this, and they describe themselves as an AI super connector. So the way it works is, let's say you're trying to find a new job or you're looking to expand your network, then the starting point would be a conversation with Boardy AI, which is a bot that would ask you relevant questions about your career and about what you're looking for. And then Boardy takes that information that it's extracted from you and then uses that to match you with potentially valuable people from its own network. So if you're looking this year to expand your network or you're looking for new job opportunities, then perhaps a call with Boardy might be an interesting way to kickstart that search. As well as Boardy, another product worth checking out this week is something I came across called Left. And we're only 2 weeks into the year 2025, but as you know, the year goes pretty quickly. And this app is designed to help you to manage and visualize your time in a whole new way. So Left transforms how you perceive time through its elegant dot visualizations. Now, this is a great way of tracking your progress throughout the year, but it's also slightly anxiety-inducing if you can see time ticking away. So perhaps not for people who get a little bit anxious about the passage of time. But if you're somebody who likes to keep track of time in different ways, then Left is probably worth checking out. It's available on the App Store now. And speaking of apps, Sonos this week announced a series of new departures from the company following the disastrous rollout of its app last year. So the CEO, the Chief Product Officer, and the Chief Commercial Officer are all resigning in the wake of the rollout of the new app. Now, the app was released last year, and there were reports from Reddit from employees that suggested that they were pressured to get the app out in a state that they weren't particularly happy with. And the end result for Sonos users is an app that doesn't function and essentially breaks the hardware as well. So as a result of this, the company had to delay the launch of new products, and users are still reporting problems. And as somebody who bought a new Sonos device last year, I can confirm that the experience of using Sonos is now a disaster. So hopefully with a new series of leaders on board, they can fix the mess and get back to producing high quality hardware. Okay, now let's move on to some data and trends for this week. First up is a new piece of analysis that is conducted by Earnest Analytics, which looks at the retention rates for different AI tools. And you can see from this graph that ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are all tracking above 50% in retention, which is excellent. You'll also see that there's a bit of a spike there with Claude reaching 75% account retention. So retention actually spiked thanks to reactivations. I'm not sure exactly what caused this, but when I suggested on LinkedIn that perhaps this was linked to Claude artifacts, some users did mention that this was a driver in their reactivation. So this goes to show that at the moment for AI tools, the release of new features can lead to reactivations, particularly when it's for something as sticky and practical as artifacts. In other news, as Meta makes the strategic decision to do away with third-party fact checkers and instead rely on community notes, a new piece of analysis has looked at the impact of community notes and suggests that they do work, but that timing is critical. So community notes typically become visible an average of 15 hours after a tweet has been posted, by which time 80% of the retweets have already occurred. However, community notes does result in an 11% reduction in the spread of incorrect information. Other data suggests that Americans are becoming more antisocial. So according to data gathered by OpenTable, solo dining has increased by 29% in the past 2 years. And the number one reason for this is more me time. So as people who build digital products, maybe this is good news because people are more likely to spend time on their phone if they're alone. But what does it tell us about the future of humanity? A new piece in The Atlantic this week describes what we're seeing as the antisocial century, with Americans now spending more time alone than ever. So this could be a trend that is worth bearing in mind when you're thinking about your product strategy and thinking about the context in which users are using your product. Other studies this week include this piece of analysis, which show that despite political tensions between the countries, the US remains China's top partner for AI collaboration. The US counts over 46,000 collaborations with China, with the UK coming in second with over 19,000. And this week, the UK's Prime Minister held a conference to say that AI was central to their strategic plans for the country. But while China may be a top AI partner for the US and the UK, there is a looming TikTok ban which is due to be enforced this weekend. As a result of the ban, users have started to flock to alternatives based in China. And as a result of this, DuoLingo has reported a 216% spike in Mandarin learners as users try to learn Mandarin in order to navigate the app that they've migrated to. And on that note, we'll leave it there for this week. Thanks very much for listening and watching, and we'll be back next week.